Apologies for the mix-up there. Moving on, United States Chamber of Commerce has invited the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to ring the closing bell of the National Association of Security Dealers automated quotations in the stock market based in New York on Wednesday, September 20th. This signifies the end of the trading session of the most active stocks trading venue in the U.S. by volume and ranked second behind the New York Stock Exchange on the market cap. U.S. Chamber of Commerce reveals that the bell-ringing ceremony with President Tinubu will take place on the sidelines of the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly, which also symbolizes the significance of economic ties between the United States and Nigeria. Meanwhile, the Nigerian telecommunications sector has witnessed a remarkable surge in its contributions to the country's gross domestic product, reaching an impressive 16% in the second quarter of 2023. This significant increase was revealed in data reported by the Nigerian Communications Commission and computed by the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. The executive chairman of the commission, Professor Omar Dambata, made this known during a keynote address delivered at the annual Telecoms Executive and Regulators Forum, hosted by the Association of Telecom Companies of Nigeria in Lagos.
We speak, and for once, this issue has been addressed by the current acting CBN governor. There was a meeting between the acting CBN governor, the NCC, the telcos, and the banks, where it has been acknowledged that the debt exists, that going forward, the service has to be paid for by the banks. The same way I said, through corporate billing. And I think this is an important development for the industry, for the telecoms industry, that we have found an amicable resolution of the problem. Because we are all serving the same government, we do not want to disrupt financial services in the country. Here I'm talking about the telecommunications service providers. And we want to see the index or the penetration even go higher. We want it to be ubiquitous, to be everywhere. But we cannot do this without settling the legacy debt, as well as paying for the service that is being provided as we speak now.
One more question.
Those issues have been resolved. I'm delighted to report this to the public.
Trade along the Abidjan-Lagos corridor must be boosted in accordance with ECOWAS protocols on free movement of goods and persons. The controller of the CEMEC Command of Nigerian Customs Service says that sustained regional integration will be achieved through the adoption and implementation of effective strategies. Ifunaya Eze reports.
According to Controller Dera Nnadi, the Semekrake Joint Border Post is one of the busiest border crossings in Africa and has emerged as the main frontier for trade in West and Central Africa. As he outlined the activities of the Semi-Customs Command between January and September, he revealed that transit trade between countries along the corridor could be further developed through compliance with agreed terms of trade.
It is important to note that the Nigeria 2022 fiscal policy measures by the Federal Ministry of Finance lifted the ban on export of goods imported into the country, hitherto prohibited under Item 8, Schedule 6 of the Common External Tariff. It is hoped that our stakeholders will take full advantage of this gesture. It is gratifying to note that the Controller General of Customs and the government of both countries and the stakeholders are all on the same page regarding the need to improve our relationship with a view to maximize the opportunities offered by the proximity of our two countries to the border and develop trade along the corridor.
His comments on enforcing compliance along the corridor highlighted the adoption of various strategies that have helped increase trade. Additionally, it has helped enforce the nation's anti-smuggling laws along the border.
I pledged to adopt new strategies to boost trade while enforcing the nation's anti-smuggling laws along this corridor, in line with the ECOWAS protocols on free movement of goods, persons, and services. I also promised, along the officers and men who are seated here today, to encourage compliant traders along the corridor, bearing in mind the challenges of the joint border post as one that is still recovering from the effects of the border closure.
As of now, the command has remitted 1.9 billion naira to the Federation account, representing 97.2% of the allotted target. Also, between January and September, various contraband items with a duty-paid value of 1.8 billion naira were seized. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.